Hi guys, hope you are having a lovely weekend. Happy Saturday. Today's topic is gonna be about why being needy and begging and doing everything for your person is not gonna work, and why you get the opposite advice from me to take back the energy into yourself. The reason why I'm making this audio is because majority of you guys are afraid to do this. You're afraid and you think if you put your energy into you, if you focus into yourself, and if you stop begging, if you stop being needy, if you stop sending a bunch of texts, if you stop apologizing, that this person will never be back. And that may be the case if you weren't using magic. We are using magic here, okay? So there is no need to beg or to do any of it. And I'm going to explain to you why. The reason why it doesn't work, okay? You already know this from the instructions. It is needy energy. Begging is needy energy. It's needy, it's repulsive energy, and nobody is attracted to it. The thing is that you may get some slight results from begging. It depends on a person. If the person is the type of person that are gonna feel sorry for you and they're gonna be okay, I'm gonna reply to them because clearly they are not doing well and I feel sorry for them. So you may get some text or something because they're gonna feel sorry for you. You know, Pity will not get somebody back. They will not want to be with somebody they feel sorry for. You know what? Imagine it. Okay, I'm gonna go back to Caroline just because she is pathetic. And she's pathetic, so I'm sorry for her. So I'm just gonna be with her forever. Does that sound possible? No, guys, it's totally not. It's absolutely not. So imagine if it was the other way around. If somebody, I'm sure you had this happen, right? I'm sure you did. When somebody was begging you and being just needy and desperate, and was that attractive to you? Did you think, oh wow, this is the person I want to spend my life with? This person is the person I love so much. Oh my god, I've fallen in love with them even more because they're so pathetic. I'm sorry to portray it like this, but imagine that. Let's be clear about this. Let's be honest about this, okay? Would that ever work on you? I mean, maybe you would give them some extra time because you would feel sorry for them and you would be like, oh, it's not okay to abandon them when they're like this. Sure, but would you really have that passionate, strong love for a person like that? No, no, you wouldn't. So, guys, seriously, you gotta stop that. You have to stop that because it doesn't work long term. It doesn't. It just doesn't. It's not attractive. It is not something that makes people fall in love with you. Being pathetic, being needy, being desperate, sending a bunch of texts, a million of texts. How is that interesting to anyone? It's just not. Let's be honest. That's not how the human brain works. Okay? So, I know that a lot of you are afraid to listen to this advice. So I'm going to give you an example, and I have a million of examples like this. And we had one recently that I talked about because I had a permission from the client. And this other client has given me the permission 6 months ago, I think, and I just haven't got around. But she thought that her story might inspire somebody else and help somebody else. Now, I'm not going to get into specifics of her story. As you know, I never do that. But let's just say she has been a client of mine for a while. And I think maybe she is the longest one I have at the moment. Yeah, perhaps. And her situation is extremely difficult. So she has a really difficult situation. And she was afraid to do some things, and these are not specifically about begging, because this advice can be taken to so many things. So her problem was that she was not communicating her needs, and I don't mean her needs in terms of something needy and desperate, but her actual needs because they have a child together. And she wasn't communicating just the fact that this other person, the target, was neglecting the kid, and everything has fallen onto her. And being a single mother is extremely hard. And I have so much appreciation for anybody in that situation. You have no idea, no idea. You guys, girls, are so strong, and it's just. I get chills even talking about it. It's amazing. It's amazing what you do. So anyway, she wasn't getting any help from him, any support, anything, and she was afraid to communicate that because she thought that it would only do worse, and he would only, just go away even more. And she wanted him to come back, so she wanted to do whatever he wanted. Basically, she was trying to please him. And we did have coaching, me and her. I remember we had coaching. It was a while back. And, she did tell me about everything she struggled with, not just regarding to spell work, because it's like coaching is for everything, right? But like her day to day life, and just being a single mom and all of that. And she was afraid to implement the advice. And then I think it was a reading that has, I'm not really sure because it was, I think, 6 months ago, that has inspired her to actually do it. And ever since she has done it, the situation has changed, and she has finally seen some specific movement there and specific change in her target. And yesterday, she did message me and tell me how thankful she was and how happy she was and all of that. And the thing is, guys, if she did not listen to what I was telling her, she wouldn't be having those results, and she wouldn't be thanking me, right? Because I can give advice to anybody, and if people don't actually, sorry, implement it, and if they're scared to implement it, they will just not be able to get the results they want. They can get some results, absolutely, but not the ones that I fully want, because they are still having that needy energy. When you are people pleasing, you are having the needy energy. It doesn't have to be an ex, it doesn't have to be a love interest, it can be anybody, your boss or your colleague at work or your friend or your mother, father, whatever, right? If you're just people pleasing, it is needy. It is like you're doing it because you are basically insecure and you need validation and you want to like please people, and it's just not healthy. And that's why you don't get healthy results from it. You have probably noticed that people pleasers in general, like if you look at people that are like that, they are usually not the ones that people are the most interested in, or the ones that people, value the most. And it's because of their energy. And that's it. They can do whatever for you. They can buy you stuff. They can be always there for you. But people are just going to take that for granted. And that's the reality of it. That's what's going to happen. I'm just being honest here. That is how it works. So they're just going to take you for granted. And nobody is really that interested or that crazy about the person they take for granted, right? Sure, they keep them around, okay. But that's not what you want. That's not what you want. So taking that energy back into yourself, focusing on to yourself, giving that validation to yourself is key. And absolutely, if you have some boundaries, don't be afraid to communicate them, because if you don't, then yeah, it's just not gonna be an energetical match, and that's the point of everything. So I hope this makes sense. I know it's a little bit all over the place. I am kind of in a hurry as well because I have to get into the readings for today finally. But I really wanted to film this because I haven't noticed like just not just now, guys, but during this 23 years of casting spells, I have noticed that majority of the people are really scared of detachment. They are really scared that the person will not react good to it. They are really afraid to communicate their needs. They're really afraid to set boundaries, and they're really afraid, to just let go. And this fear is only making it worse, honestly. Fear is the lowest emotion on the vibrational scale, the lowest one. And you are basically clinging onto this person out of fear, energetically, that neediness and that desperation that is out of fear, right? Because you're afraid you're going to lose them. So you're not. You're going to lose them if you continue doing that. And you're not going to get results from your spells the way you want if you continue doing that. Focusing on yourself is the most wonderful thing you could do, and you should be doing it in general. And I have had so many clients, you have no idea, and they talk about this all the time, and I know that have actually done that work and they have transformed. They have transformed. You have no idea, guys, and that could be you as well. Okay? So remember, nobody wants the person that begs. Nobody's thinking this is the love of my life when they hear you begging all the time and sending a million texts and acting crazy and all of that. No, nobody. Nobody's thinking that. And I'm sorry if this sounds harsh, because my idea is not to offend anybody. Absolutely not. Sorry, the idea is not to offend anybody. It is to help. But we need to be honest always in order to help. So, thank you for listening. I hope everybody is working on detaching. Detaching does not mean becoming cold towards your person. It does not mean stop communicate with your person, go no contact. It doesn't mean any of that. It's energetical. It's energetical. But begging and sending millions of texts and those anxious texts and all of that is just not good for you. It's simply not, guys. It's time to stop. It's time to give that energy to yourself.